Hello and welcome to this Warcraft 3 commentary. Today's game features Blade, aka Unique, the Moldavian human player, and WaN, the German undead player, playing on a Last Refuge. Now, WaN opening up with a Crypt Lord first, double Ziggurat Ghoul build, so a very typical Crypt Lord expansion build order, which is, I think, very, very common on this map. It's a pretty easy expansion to creep right away. You can fall back afterwards and creep a mercenary camp if your opponent isn't being aggressive. Get some good items, mercenaries, experience, and finish off here for level 3. So very, very nice expansion map all around. But same goes for human, and we do see the Archmage first for Blade. Triple farms, of course. This doesn't really, like, human has a lot more flexibility in this opener compared to the undead. It doesn't really have to be an expansion. It could be a tech. Could be a lot of pressure towards the expansion and attack, or it could just be an expansion. We'll see what happens. Well, with this pull, it really indicates an expansion style. This is a very heavy economic investment to creep this, and it would delay the tech significantly. So pulling the golem to bug out the AI, so there won't be any slow or bolts being thrown, and then focusing down the priest. Very, very common. An efficient way to do this is human. Meanwhile, WaN going for that instant expansion does have the rod and the sacrificial skull. Gonna throw that down there, start an expansion. Might go tower first to be safe. Oh, footman actually being caught by the creeps. Yeah, so there's a tower first. More ghouls coming up behind this.
A town is under
Oh, vampiric aura. Really not a bad item at all for Blade here in the early game. It gives some sustainability to those footmen. In the late game, I think you can definitely hold on to this if you want to go for knights and stuff like that. Meanwhile, WaN gets the Claws of Attack. And not the best item for a Crypt Lord, but any extra damage is honestly quite nice. On any hero, really. Tower going up. Finally going to start that expansion as soon as he gets the gold. Manually returning those ghouls to make sure he gets the gold, the wood necessary. And Blade is going to go for that expansion. No tech in the main, keeps making peasants. And WaN's going to show up kind of in time, but the Archmage will get level 3 unless there's some huge impale surround here. And this is looking pretty good for Blade. All these militia are still militia. They haven't turned to peasants yet, so they're basically footmen at this point. WaN desperately wants to get that Ogre Magi though, and he does not get it. He doesn't get the Magi, he doesn't get the item either. Plus 3 intelligence for the Archmage. And wow, this did absolutely nothing for WaN. Perfectly held here by Blade. I don't think he lost a single unit. Now he's level 3 against level 2. Very, very far ahead. Of course, the advantage for WaN here by doing this is he's securing his expansion. If he's down here, he knows for a fact that nothing's going to happen to this gold mine, which can be very, very nice. Whereas if he would have gone for this, perhaps the Archmage shows up and cancels this. So it's a very safe play. Safe by being aggressive, if that makes sense. But it did not work out, I wouldn't say. I mean, Blade's basically soon going to be 2 levels ahead, which is huge. Level 2 Brilliance is going to be an amazing power spike in the early game. Power building that expansion. Going to get an Arcane Tower pretty soon.
A player's forces are under attack.
Ooh, an early graveyard here for WaN, so putting the graveyard at the expansion, it's a bit of SimCity, and you can always put ghouls here. Defensive ghouls that can also harvest wood. So a pretty cool choice to put the graveyard there. Gives you some flexibility as undead. Now WaN is going for those mercenaries. We'll see what item he gets. Meanwhile, yeah, Blade was just more than happy to creep level 4. Well, that level 4 Archmage is going to be incredibly powerful. 480 mana pool, level 2 Brilliance. It's going to be endless water elementals here. Plus 6 intelligence for the Crypt Lord, very, very good item. And we can actually get a cancel in the graveyard, which is actually quite significant. We need that graveyard to get our tech structures up later. So obviously the tech hasn't started yet, so it's not panic for WaN, but definitely not something that you want to get cancelled. It might actually go down, but we do have level 3 Crypt Lord, and there's a lot of repair. Level 2 Impale, actually. Level 2 Impale rather than level 2 Beetles. Interesting choice. It'll definitely scare off this army. It might have actually been the correct play. I've never really seen level 2 Impale first over level 2 Beetles. But wow, perfect Impales. We're really salvaging this situation. And he's skyrocketing experience. He's getting close to level 4. So yeah, that was a really cool choice. With that extra intelligence, he knew he could get quite a few impales off. Going for surround on the... Wow, yeah. I mean, WaN's just microing really, really well. He's always been known for his micro. Incredibly powerful at surrounding. And just handling his fights in general. And there we go. Wow. What a turnaround. I mean, the Archmage is approaching level 5, but we still have that level 4 Crypt Lord, which is huge. If we look at the main of WaN, he's just kind of started his tech, and same goes for Blade, actually. Even though he didn't take much damage there. He teched quite late. I think maybe he just forgot. I feel like that should have been a bit faster. But they've been kind of trading units. It's been a very aggressive game from the very beginning, so it's easy to lose track of something like your tech timing. Meanwhile, Blade just trying to be annoying. He knows that every time that's spent up here is time that's not being spent down here killing losing peasants and getting harassed. So he's pretty happy just to keep the fighting on the upper half of the map right now. It'll be interesting to see what WaN goes for. We do have the double crypt and that graveyard. Necropolis at the expand. Ooh, wow, I actually missed the Archmage getting, I guess, impale surrounded here, but just barely gets out. Does have those double priests, and those priests are going to be very valuable with that level 2 brilliance. There's going to be a lot of healing and a lot of abolishes available still. But Blade is putting zero focus on the early game and mid game right now. It looks like he's solely interested in that tier 3 late game. He's not making any footmen, he's not spending any gold on anything such as mercenaries, riflemen, double barracks, nothing like that. He's going to go straight tier 3, I imagine, and put a lot of emphasis on that tier 3 army. And it makes a lot of sense. In general, that's what you want to do against undead, but also with that vampiric aura, knights are going to be very, very powerful. Want a mana sting for WaN. Might actually use it rather than sell it. If you have an expansion, you're not really short on gold. So yeah, he does end up using it to tilt the mana a little bit towards his favor. Meanwhile, the double crypt, instant tier 3 for WaN, Death Knight second, so it does not look like it's like the triple crypt Garg style that we see a lot. This looks more like it's going to be fiends and statues and destroyers, like a standard undead army but with an expansion. Meanwhile, yeah, instant tier 3 from Blade, instant tier 3 Mountain King. Arcane Sanctum, so definitely wants to get some either priests or breakers to complement his army. Breakers can steal the beetles, of course, and priests can dispel them. And you might want to get Inner Fire late game as well for your knights. Oof, massive impale, look at that, everything got impaled. Blade has to kind of run here. I mean, he really wants to get level 5 if he can and get that item. They both really want to fight about this item because it can be a game changer. Greater invul, greater healing. It turns out to be a WaN mana stealing, so actually used instantly again by Blade. Same reasoning here. You don't really need to sell it if you have an expansion. So instant usage. Level 5 Archmage is unlocked, so we have those water tar now, those beasts out on the field. Death Knight shows up. But WaN cannot fight this, I don't think. Or can he? Actually going for the priest, really cool. Removing the healing and the abolish. Mountain King does show up as well though and gets the Berserker. Might just focus the Death Knight, try and go. No, he might have gone for a surround, but just barely got out. And we're in a little bit of an awkward situation because there's not a whole lot of creeps left, and they both have such powerful level 1 heroes, and the level 2 heroes are just level 1. Or the second heroes are just level 1. I mean. So yeah, it looks like Blade's going to put a lot of emphasis now on solo creeping that Mountain King. You can still get the lab and potentially a red spot for level 3. Double Sanctum, Workshop, Double Sanctum. Interesting choice. So just the one barrack so far, and again, he's kept on to this Scourge of One-Shine, so I'm surprised we're not seeing a double barracks, actually, to pump out those knights. But it looks like he really wants to put an emphasis on breakers, priests, and mortars. Gyros as well. And from one side, yeah, we do just see that the fiends and the statues, kind of standard undead army with Lich 3rd to carry that orb. Broke upkeep very, very early, did WaN. Perhaps being a bit scared. Doesn't want to die to a quick push from his opponent. But 53 is kind of an awkward food to be at. I'm not sure if he wants to cancel something. Or if he just wants to keep making units. One of the two, but just staying 53 does not make a whole lot of sense.
Player's
Meanwhile,
forces are under attack.
Blade going for that first red spot. WaN is there to creep check. We'll see. Blade just runs away. There was not enough time to actually kill this Overlord. First Priests are out though, which is going to give a lot of sustainability to Blade here. Orb of the Corruption is actually on the Crypt Lord right now. So both players can definitely creep this, but neither of them wants to creep it and get creep checked. So it's going to be a bit of a dance here. WaN tried to go for maybe a quick surround there on the Overlord, but didn't really work out. And whoever does show up, I mean, everyone has the potential here to actually steal the creep with a bolt, with impale, with coil. So it's actually hard to guarantee the kill. We do have the Orb of Fire, I think. Yeah, there we go. Orb of Fire, very, very powerful against Undead specifically, to cut that healing.
A player's forces are under attack.
Impale on the Priest, just going for the units here. Bolt on the Death Knight. Death Knight might go down, not use a heal scroll, did WaN just to save him. We do have the Staff Sanctuary, so it gets used on the Mountain King there. And yeah, we do have Knights, but still just the single barracks, so a lot of emphasis still on Breakers and Casters and Gyros. We should be seeing Inner Fire Priest as well at some point, but not yet, not yet. And we had kind of these preemptive flying machines, which is, I think, almost a necessity as human. Like, you have to have flying machines to be able to counter destroyers, but as a response, the Undead just might not make destroyers. And then you've wasted a lot of your resources on flying machines that aren't doing anything. But they are doing something in the fact that they're kind of preventing the destroyers from being more. It does look like WaN does get the first red spot here. Cloak of Flames, not bad for the Crypt Lord, but obviously not the item you want. You want to get an aura here. Let's get level 5 though, and Unholy Aura unlocked. Very important levels here. And Blade just going for the safe lab with his Paladin third as well, so wants to power creep those heroes. Archimage just kind of chilling here, doesn't want to steal any experience, of course. There we go, Master Training. So Master Training is one of the reasons why Gyros actually do make a lot of sense, because the underplay really wants to get destroyers out in the field once you have Inner Fire, but if you have a lot of flying machines, you can prevent that. Peasant Slaughter here. TP in from Blade. WaN just running away. It's really hard to say who has the better arm right now, but I have to give the slight edge to Blade. Upgrade-wise, though, WaN is ahead. There we go, first big fight. So Nova and Bolt being thrown. Coil to save the Fiend. Clap. Ooh, I didn't even realize we had Clap, but of course Clap is incredibly powerful in the late game here. Focus Fire on the Paladin. We do have actually Hellstone being used, and we have the Staff Sanctuary still, so Holy Light being used on the Mountain King to save him. Very, very well controlled here by Blade. It's not actually Bolt the Abomination because he thought he'd get the kill, but goes for the Ghoul. Hopefully he does get it for his sake. Yeah, with the Holy Light, long range. Kills the Abomination, kills the Ghoul, level 2 Paladin. That fight went very well, I would say, for Blade, but he did lose quite a bit of peasants, had to replace them. 74 food for Blade, 68 for WaN. More and more Abominations at this point. Makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of Breakers that will take extra damage. And we don't really need a lot of Fiends. If we're not going to make the Destroyers, the Fiends don't need to really be massed at this point. Actually creeping with a level 5 hero. Slight, perhaps not mistake, but being very, very safe as WaN. If he gets caught in a bad spot, he wants to keep his hero there and just TP out. And now it looks like Blade is going to get the second red spot. He's going to solo creep his 2 second and third heroes, I hope. Yep. Burning the Archmage back. Doesn't want to suck up the experience. We'll see what item he gets here, but he's going to have to TP in and defend his expansion as soon as he is done with this camp. He's actually quite hurt by the Disease Cloud. Pause attack plus 12. Not the best item either. Really want to get an aura here, but you can put that in the Archmage later. Here we go, TP's in. But WaN does not want to take a fight, he just wants to kill workers and run. Blade catches 2, 3 ghouls even, bolts a Fiend, forces a fight, maybe even forces a TP here, but beautiful impale from WaN. Knight goes down with a last second Nova, prevents the staff usage. Cyclone coming out, but we do have Dispel, instantly Dispelled by Blade. Saves the Knight there with the staff, very, very nice. Bolt forcing WaN to stay in this fight. Incredible focus fire potential here with the orb as we see on the Breakers. And they're just kind of training units. More and more levels on the heroes. Level 3 on the Mountain King, almost level 3 on the Paladin. Going to be incredibly powerful to unlock that level to Holy Light. Hellstone used on the Mountain King. Another charge of the WaN to win, but there's this spell not being used for some reason. Excellent positioning from WaN. Always moving back slightly to reposition and make sure he can focus fire without getting focus fire too easily by his opponent. And now the Mountain King is actually in trouble, and there's no... Is there staff? I'm not sure if the cooldown is showing or not. Either way, this Mountain King is living dangerously. Oh, we have to pass... Ooh, last 10 HP. 10 HP TP staff from WaN. Incredible. What a close fight. Both players really hanging in there and taking risks, I would say, like playing very, very risky with their heroes in the end. But the Mountain King does survive. The Crippler does TP out. Very, very even fight, back and forth. Both at equal supply. Both still with that one expansion. There's pretty much no creeps left, just these turtle spots in the corners. And no major level up in sight for either player. So 5-3-3 against 5-3-3. Very, very close game. But this disease cloud, I mean, that's so annoying. You might even want to turn off auto healing, just wait for this to wear off and then start healing up. But I guess with Brewing Sword, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to run out of mana anyway. WaN attempting to get a second expansion here, and Blade actually not seeing it. Ooh, caught a statue though. Nice little pickup, and I did actually see it. This is not going to work out, and Blade is utilizing these flying machines very well. So they're not just preventing destroyers or dealing with destroyers, but they can be used to scout as well. They're very quick, they have a large sight radius. Just checking out where WaN is, checking expansions and stuff like that. He knows that WaN's over here, so I can go down here and creep. Very, very safe. Even without a TP, but perhaps the Mountain King went home and bought a TP. No. So, Blade playing without a TP. WaN also playing without a TP at this point. And he's going to go for that last spot. After this, there's really no creeps left except for this tiny little green here. And one Troll Trapper. And WaN actually dropped a circlet and forgot to pick it up. So what item did we get here? Ooh, Pendant of Energy. Perfect. This is exactly what you want. I'm not even sure if we have level 2 Bolt or level 2 Clap. I didn't check. I assume almost level 2 Bolt. Level 2 Clap really isn't that impressive against Abominations, Statues, Regen from the Unholy Aura. Meanwhile, WaN got the Ring of Regeneration. Not what you want, but not bad. It's a lot of regeneration on that Crypt Lord. He's very, very tanky. Ends up picking up the circlet with the Crypt Lord. Plus 24 on the Lich. Very, very nice inventory here. Plus 9 intelligence in those double claws. Only the Death Knight's kind of lacking items. He gets the Invul at least, and he has a mana potion. I'm surprised we still have just the one staff from Blade. As an health player, I always love getting 2 staffs, or 3 even if I can, but they are very expensive, so I suppose it's a harder, more difficult purchase to make as human. I actually have a first or second fight of the game here. I actually have a wagon here, very, very cool, but very out of position as well. I can just split off a couple units to deal with it. Nice impale to prevent the Mountain King to just nuking him out of existence using a potion, and wow, just dies. This Blade did not have time to even use the staff there. Incredible power for a nuke there. Impale level 2 Coil, level 2 Nova. Missed the impale this time though. It's probably the first bad impale of the entire game. That says a lot about how well WaN's been playing. Gyros show up, but there's really nothing for them to do. But they, like I said, they prevent destroyers from being morphed. So that means all this slow is going to last forever. Mountain King comes back to the fight here. Tries to go for the counter nuke on the Death Knight. Very, very busy fight here. Of course, the Mountain King comes back with no mana, so he's not really that scary. But we do have the level 2 Brilliance to quickly bring him up to a couple of bolts, claps, but WaN TP's out. And when all's said and done, WaN's at 79, but he just broke again, or just started a lot of production, whereas Blade is 75 and isn't really producing. He's at 1200 gold. But WaN did expand during this time, but the Gyro scattered out. Blade's going to go there and prevent the expansion. Might want to pick up a TP at this point, though, some items. He has a lot of gold to work with. TP, Invul, maybe Scroll of Healing. But yeah, like these late game sources are very, very cool. So Master Priest and Master Sorcerer. So we potentially have slow, polymorph, inner fire. that WaN cannot deal with unless he morphs destroyers, but these gyros just kind of prevent those destroyers. Oh, WaN just picking up those casters as much as he can. Very, very smart choice. This is the main threat. It's not the breakers, it's not the heroes, it's the casters that are really the big threat at this point. I actually see polymorph, but there is one destroyer removing that. And we do have web, so this might not actually be enough gyros. Actually might need more gyros to deal with that destroyer. Very awkward position for Blade to fight in here. Kind of split up his army here, fighting every which way, and gyros getting web, getting focused. And it is actually level 2 clap, so it's not level 2 bolt, it is level 2 clap. Abomination's going down. Hear a lot of gyros going down as well. The destroyer is kept alive, so that is very, very huge for WaN. But again, it's just that one destroyer, so you can't deal with everything. There's a lot of spells that have to be dealt with, and one destroyer is not going to be enough. Elementals as well that don't get the spells. There's a lot of extra firepower for Blade. But now Blade's kind of fighting into the towers here. Might be a bit too brave, but he is far ahead in the army right now. And there is no TP from WaN, so any hero that gets caught out in a bad position is just going to die at this point. There we go. Blocking with the sorcerers, double nuke with the bolt and the holy light. Ooh, counter nuke. Blade was not quick enough, did not see that coming. He had an invul, he had a staff, didn't use it. But then this slow is just doing so much for Blade right now. Level 6 on the Crypt Lord. The ultimate is actually very powerful in this situation, but doesn't have the mana for it right now. And Blade focus firing the Crypt Lord to make sure that no mana will be it. So there won't be enough mana for the ultimate. Impale to get out of Death's grasp here from WaN, but it's not looking good at this point. 63, 58. Well, actually, wow. So Blade's army is very small, but he unlocks his ultimate as well, and I would say the Mass Teleport ultimate is the best in the game, in my opinion, and much, much better than the Crypt Lord ultimate, especially in a game like this where the mains have expired, the expansions are about to expire. Having a free TP as your ultimate is incredibly powerful here. So Blade has the tools to turn this game into a base trade now if he wants to. Except for the fact that we do have Impale. So Impale is actually worth so much right now because it can prevent the mass TP. Death Knight can't do it, Lich can't do it, but Crypt Lord can prevent the mass teleportation from going off. So looks like it's just going to be a bit of a straight up fight. Long distance mining for Blade, Acolyte's coming into fight for WaN. Preemptive Divine Shield to make sure that no extra nuke goes off on the Paladin, and Lich gets away with 15 hit points. Nope, doesn't get away, actually goes down. 3-2 upgrades on Blade compared to 1-1 on WaN, so those units are really doing a ton of damage. And there's just no way out for WaN now. Last ditch web to run away, but I don't think he has enough. Crucially, the orb is gone. Death Knight's just coming back now. Maybe like an ultimate could save the day here from the Crypt Lord. I believe it's 200 mana, so he should be able to use it now. Maybe it's 250. He's not using it either way. Mass TP out. Ooh, really, really smart Blade. So as soon as the Impale gets used, he uses Mass TP. Because he knows there's the cooldown on Impale is bigger than the casting of the Mass TP. So as soon as that Impale was used, he TPs out for free with his ultimate.
A player's forces are under attack.
Really, really cool. And WaN's down to 49, Blade at 59 still. And at this point, like, his sustainability is actually much, much better. The statues are slowly running out of juice, but Brilliant Sword never runs out. So heal, slow, mass TP, Brilliant Sword, all these tools that Blade has just give him so much sustainability in this slow economy situation. But it doesn't want to get caught out in a bad position though. With these gyros. Bolt focus on the Death Knight, Impale to prevent the focus fire. Runs back, but this slow on the slow is putting in so much work here. Ooh, double bolt and GG. Wow. What a cool game. It was actually hard just to cast the fights. There's so much going on. Such big fights with really cool, diverse army compositions. But in the end there, I mean, those casters from Blade. Such a smart choice. Those late game sorceresses. Master upgrade on both the sorcerers and the priest. So many spells going off. Inner Fire, Slow, Polymorph, Water Elementals. There's just not enough Dispel for WaN. I'm not sure if maybe he should have gone for like a lot of destroyers in the end there if he could. Because there weren't a lot of gyros, but they were still enough to prevent WaN from making destroyers. More than one at least. So I'm not really sure what the answer to that is. Maybe he needed more destroyers. But if he makes more destroyers, Blade can make more gyros. And in the end, I think gyros always beat destroyers. So it's hard to say. Really cool game though. Cool army compositions. Really enjoyed that one. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.